So I'll jump in. Let's talk a little bit about how Teresa covered our consumer experience and how Atlan Mesh is a seamless way to use data as a product and domain oriented ownership to solve our problems. But where did that data product come from in the first place? Let's jump into our data producer experience. We're all users of data, but many of us are producers of data as well. What does this look like? Let's get back into our demo. So this is our product homepage. And before we dive too deeply into editing or creating any new data products, I want to revisit again the classic Atlan experience. I'll jump over here to our assets page. And if you've used Atlan before, you know they're the home for your data estate, a key tool for data producers, such as data engineers, scientists, or analysts. You can see our instance here has connections to all sorts of partners and products across the modern data estate. This could be from your upstream CRMs through your data warehouses and lakes into the BI layer. But particularly over the past 6 months, what we've heard from the industry and our customers is that with millions of tables, dashboards, DAGs, and other objects, we need to pursue programmatic data mesh principles to better manage these complex estates. Scalability across all these tools is fundamental. So if I'm a data producer, say the engineer who Teresa pinged with the Jira request, let's dig into how I can use Atlan Mesh to better service the data consumers in my organization. I'll jump back into our product homepage that Teresa demoed. Say, hey, maybe I'd like to go about creating a brand new product. The first step on our data mesh journey. Now, if I want to start from scratch, I could do simple things. Maybe I work in our finance domain. So I'm going to work on a data product for accounts receivable analytics. And I'll tag this in our finance domain. I can come back, add some other information later. But what is this data product going to be made of? Well, we hear from customers all kinds of approaches. Some are building their products in dbt, some are building custom specs in GitHub, and some folks are just starting their journey and looking for a toolkit. What we've approached it is programmatic way to bring in any kind of data assets across your entire estate. So these are custom filters you could connect based off of your source systems, your asset types. Maybe you want to just bring in your first data product is just a table. Maybe you're looking for more governance-oriented things like ownership or certifications. So with this approach, we have an easy wizard to get started to edit and create new data products with anything from scaling from a single data asset inside to thousands. Let's jump back into the data product that Teresa was looking at and see how we can edit this to meet the consumer's needs. The user had requested that we add column descriptions on one of the output ports, a table, that it was more clear what those fields meant. We can easily jump into that, and we have edit access. So we can go into our product that she was looking at, the actual versus forecast financial KPIs. We might want to go ahead and make these changes, but before we do so, we've heard from so many of our customers that there's a huge gap between data producers and consumers. Oftentimes, the producers have absolutely no idea who's consuming their data and how. So if I'm a data engineer, maybe I'm just going to go check a lineage and see who's going to be impacted downstream by any changes I make here. Here again, we can see an easy, quick view of our data products and get a sense for downstream what's going to happen for any updates. Looks good downstream. In this case, we really feel safe. The request was just adding descriptions to a table. If we jump back into that output port, we can see here's where the request for descriptions was. And here we can use some of our latest and greatest functionality at Atlan, Atlan AI. So Atlan AI will automatically read the metadata of your estate, take that context into account, and write a description for you. And this is all without any security concerns, as it's not reading any of the underlying data at all, just the metadata that you give access to. You can go ahead and apply that. And while we're here in the data contract, we can give a fresh look at it from the perspective of our data producer. Teresa looked at this from a consumer, trying to read this contract and understand how they could use it to solve a business problem. But I'm a data engineer. I think about this contract as code. To us, this is working in the tools that we feel most comfortable in. This could be a YAML file or a JSON. We could have Atlan integrated here with GitHub or Bitbucket. Perhaps we've started enforcing this at the pull request and review level. Or maybe we're just using it for informational purposes. Again, whether you want to crawl the source system to use or curate and enrich the metadata in Atlan, we're designing for the scale that you want to work at. So we finished reviewing our contract here, and we've made our update on those columns. So let's jump back in the collaboration section, and we can go ahead and close out our Jira ticket. We'll give ourselves a nice little pat on the back. And as you can see, we've never actually left many of the tools that we feel comfortable in. We've worked in integrations across Jira into Atlan, synced with our contract. And we've moved from producing individual data assets to more complex consumable data products.